How can I forget?
The Loonies. Isn't the Loonies?
It will come. I'm very curious as to where that is coming from.
I think it was the Loonies.
All right.
I think so.
All cameras are rolling and quiet on set.
Okay, I don't know.
Before Jennifer Lopez sampled the beat.
Sampled, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I
still
know.
Jenny from
I
the
know
block.
the. I know the
I'm
Jenny
still
version.
Jenny.
Yeah,
from the
but there's
block.
an original.
Oh yeah.
There's a hip hop one from 96, 97.
Okay, I'd like to hear that. Is it? Yes.
Used to have a lot of that.
No. Block.
Came from.
The block.
Yeah.
Block.
Okay.
Yeah.
MCs act like they don't know.
Are you into hip hop, or you were into hip hop?
I just listen to good music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hip hop just so happens to be part of that.
But hip hop, like in the hood, it kind of helped a lot of guys get into, into the English language.
Yeah,
Interesting.
westernization.
Yeah.
Westernization.
And I was into Kwaito, so you can
Kwaito.
understand my English took time. Hi guys, we're rolling, right? We're on.
Yeah.
Are we showing the Premier League?
I remember when I first heard Kwaito. Like I was like,
No, it's all good, man. It's soccer.
Yeah, the gents
It's
watching
soccer.
football.
Everyone watches Premier League, man.
I'll tell you straight.
Allowed to show the Premier League here.
Is it on a close up? So on a close up, it's just the game.
Can you see the
background,
the score?
branding?
I can't even see the scores like
Nah,
Then
yeah,
it's
fine.
fine. You've
We're
got no
good,
problem.
Yeah, fine.
We're good.
Kwaito,
So
yes.
you blame it on Kwaito?
No, I'm just saying because a lot of my friends who are into hip hop, their English is quite posh.
Wow. Mare, Pro Kid,
That's
ne?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Pro Kid before he was Pro Kid. He was
started
one of the
rapping in-
meanest freestylers, English freestylers.
Yes, yesterday
Before
I
he
was
went to vernacular, ko Gandhi Square.
Yesterday I was with Siashezi.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
And so he was like Deep Soweto.
Yeah.
Is one of the gangs who influenced Pro
Yeah.
to start rapping in
Slaggies.
vernac.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you gotta be relatable. But then he was so
Exactly.
good in that
But he
setup.
came in Kavenek and he killed it.
So hip-hop called
Kunku.
English.
Killed it.
Interesting.
So
So-
much so that cats today are inspired by him.
Do you understand?
But
What
it
a
sounds better in
genius.
vernac, depending on who's rapping. Do you know what I mean? Like when you change the language to fit the frame,
Yeah.
sometimes it works, but it doesn't always.
Can you?
Sometimes it-
Tony's from the UK,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? He's from London.
Yeah.
First
He's
generation.
from London.
So do you
Nigeria,
understand like
Yoruba.
our
Dilemma.
in vernac?
Bits and pieces, not much.
But Tony's been around South Africa for a long time and he should.
Yeah, no, but Tony's also very stubborn, quite lazy.
I think let's kick it. Hi everyone, my name is Motlatsi Mafatshe. I'm your host on Dice the Podcast, a show that deals with all issues that are affecting men. So we roll the dice on things that guys are dealing with on a daily. So this is a platform where we can just talk about, I call them burning issues, right? Talk about them freely without being judged or feeling like, so we are here to express ourselves and also learn from each other as we roll this dice. Today, I've got my main man. Last time he didn't appear, right? So I don't know what happened. What happened to this today? You are coming in. I got Fancy, my co-host. What's up, Fancy?
Yo, man. Last week I was the voice.
Yeah.
And it's nicer to be the voice because
Yeah.
you can say anything and no one can pinpoint you on the street and say it's that one.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Glad to have our main man there.
Our main man, Anthony Osenyemi.
Oh, you did
Anthony
well.
Osenyemi, he's like
Osenyemi.
my brother from another mother. I've done a lot of stuff with him. I stayed with him. I'll tell you more. He's a film actor. He's just plenty on
Writer,
Netflix.
producer.
Bafetu, like actor.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny man.
Hey, footballer.
dropper.
Penty dropper.
I don't know who they're talking about, just so we're clear.
This guy, I used to stay with Tony in one
Yeah.
house at some point.
Yeah.
So Tony, the guy's got a six pack. The guy speaks in a UK accent.
There's pictures of his six-pack all over the media. Breast cancer, what? Petty trauma.
I'm searching for the six-pack, guys.
My man, so I mean, it was myself, my business partner, Matli Mohapelwa.
Yeah.
And Tony, we used to stay in one house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were young and famous.
Yeah.
So you can imagine.
Good times.
So you guys broke hearts.
No, I mean, it's not
No,
about...
nobody broke anybody's
No.
heart. They may have
guys,
massaged
wait,
it, but nobody broke it.
Oh, you massaged it.
So
So
Tony...
wait, guys, can I ask? Was your residence the Slachis? You know what
It wasn't a slachis.
It was a space of social engagement, dynamism, creativity, a crossing of genders, identities, and energies.
crossing of gender.
No, people coming together, bro.
We had
people
a
coming
blast.
together.
We had such a blast. Like,
And the girls, guys, why are you guys deviating from the quiz?
not.
Nobody's deviating.
You just
Nobody
mentioned
deviated.
Mikey.
yeah?
Pretty boy, handsome
Handsome boy.
handsome boy,
Oh, thanks.
3 funny boys. And I know women like the funny boys. Women want the man
We
that make them
rocked
laugh.
it so nice.
So you rocked the girls.
We rocked the joint.
Yes,
The
see,
girls.
the joint.
No, it's
The
not
joint.
about... In fact, now that we are talking about this, today we are addressing issues of guys having difficulty settling down. Do we struggle with settling down? That's what we're talking about today. And we're still introducing Tony. Tony, what are you working on, my man?
At the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in development with KAE for a feature film. Runtime. So think something like 16 blocks, set in Johannesburg. And then I've been acting, which is always good.
You're
'cause I love doing that.
on every Netflix show right now.
I'm blessed. I'm not on everyone, but yeah. I'm blessed. It's been good.
Yeah.
Netflix, Amazon. So we're working hard, bro.
Well
we're
done.
pushing. We're doing all the things we talked about.
Yeah.
We're doing all
You
the things
guys
we
are
talked
at your
about.
peak, man. You too.
It's-
Golden boy right
Yeah,
now.
it's happening. I
We're
mean,
the adults in the room.
Yeah.
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 No more complaining about somebody else not doing something else.
and Tony has always had issues with, like, relationship-wise.
Issues is the wrong word.
Okay.
Let's just say my relationships have always been short term.
Intentionally?
When you're younger, maybe, but also because sometimes you don't have the patience or understanding to properly engage in what a relationship means. You know, like relationship. Let's discount what you're sold, the concept of it. Let's discount what you're told by relatives. Let's discount what you're shown, and let's talk about what it actually means to spend time with someone, see them for who they are, listen to them, have patience, engage with them, and be honest with them about who you are and what you want out of a relationship.
Do you find that that's an issue though? Being honest with them about yourself in a relationship?
No, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's, with all things, it's experiential. You have to learn. You don't go into a relationship knowing what's going on. Nobody does.
Tony, you are speaking like you're an expert.
I'm human. I'm human.
Watch out!
Stop chumming.
At our expense.
Tony, how many? Okay, without being too noisy.
Yes, go on.
I mean, you said short-term relationships. That means you've had quite a few relationships.
Yeah, definitely.
And how come? Why? Because that means you had a...
Because you're always looking for what fits and what makes sense. Don't get me wrong. If it doesn't make sense and it's not making sense and I'm not engaging with you and I don't understand why, I leave.
Is the problem you?
So,
Or somebody else?
No, it's not a problem, guys. You keep using the word problem. Like I said, it's experience. Life is experience. You have to learn about yourself in order to be able to engage with somebody else. And that takes time as well. You have to go, oh, shit, maybe I don't need to be in a relationship. Maybe I need to talk to me and find out a little bit about who I am and what's going on with me in order to engage with somebody else.
look, a content producer, a
Yes.
wonderful content producer lady, was highlighting to me behind the scenes that actually, as years progress, there's been a delay in men committing to relationships, whereas in yesteryear, they'd get married, run about 21, run about latest 27, but as times go, I don't want to mention your age unless you do, but
I get you. I get you.
You are saying that there's that learning about yourself, and when does it end? So
Good
much
question.
so that you
when you're
get
ready, bro.
to the place.
Like, also, you're making it sound, and this is just my observation, you're making it sound as if my perspective is all perspectives. I think what you find is that throughout history and pop culture, so people go like, yeah, this is what's going on right now. This is what's not going on. You can't say there aren't young men who are ready and committed at 21 to start families and build things, because there are. 27, same thing. Yeah. Early 30s, same thing. What happens is people highlight certain aspects through different eras, because as human beings, we're very cyclical. So we will look for things to talk about. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has their own moment in their own time. Let's not say that because somebody says you must be married now, that's when you must be married, or that's when you must be engaged, because that's part of, fitting into society's machine.
You know what? I think, like, for example, I think about my son, and I'm like, would I want him to settle down at an early age? Because I've lived my life and I'm going through it. I mean, I've already gone through a divorce, right? And now I'm in a committed relationship. And thinking about my life, I'm like, I think the boy can take it easy.
Why did you get divorced?
Huh?
Why did you get divorced? So for you, because you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? 'Cause
I mean,
that's
it's
what
an
I'm saying. For everybody,
experience.
it's different.
Yeah.
Like some people, they married, they're successful 100 years. They married, they're solid.
Yeah.
Some people, they get married and they get divorced. It doesn't quite work.
Yeah, I mean, the topic is not necessarily divorce.
No, I'm just asking the question. No, I'm just asking the question why.
The topic is the
why
ability.
meant commitment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's commitment. So I'm like, my son, I think he can take his time, so that he finds himself.
So are you saying that in retrospect, and I'm not assuming, I'm just trying to get sus out. Are you saying that in retrospect because you think maybe that you rushed in, possibly?
I think so too. I mean, there were moments where me and my ex-wife would be like, hey, Ntwana mara sishade early,
and you
we'd agree.
that to
And we'd
one
be like,
another.
yeah, let's
Okay. Okay.
And it was an honest conversation.
Yeah.
I think you need to find yourself. You need to know yourself. Even now that sengiphumile nasemshadweni and I'm in another relationship, I'm like, yeah, who am I?
You said something about the times. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm remembering there's a show that I watched some years ago. So in the Sotho culture, hunale ushubedisa. Right?
What is ushubedisa?
So ushubedisa is basically an act that in the Sotho tradition, where the man would maybe like a girl and maybe want to marry this girl, then go and abduct this girl.
Oh, yes, I heard about
Go
this.
abduct the girl, take him to his homestead, and then get his family to go explain at that lady's family, and then basically then lobola. And then one of the women was saying that, you know what, in this kind of setup, when it started, ha bua ka Sesotho a re ha ne re qala ho ne ho se monate empa ha nako e tseya o ithuta ho mo rata. So, and I'm saying that was back then. So
That's a lot.
Is it even illegal or legal?
Okay, forget that. That was then. We're talking about now.
Okay, no,
okay.
but, okay.
At essence, what I'm trying to point out.
Yes.
Can you learn to love someone? Because I asked Motlatsi Ntwana, as you say, you figured, Hori, we got married too early. And back in the day, in the African context, hence that nesiZulu but begezela. In Zulu they say endure or persevere in marriage. Marriage is not a short-term thing where you are happy all the day. There will be the ups and downs, but you need to be consistent in something that, whatever, whether it's an end goal or whatever it may be. And in essence, that principle is that you need to sustain the relationship or you learn to sustain the relationship. Now, I'm asking you now again, because maybe you are Nigerian, essentially. First, what did you say?
First generation.
First generation, British.
No, the question is good. I mean, even with the tradition you're talking about, part of me completely gets it. But also part of it, I think that's also changed is the interaction of families. Because I know that for a fact in Nigerian culture, let's say I'm particularly interested in a woman and I want to engage with her, and my family first goes to petition on my behalf. Do you know what I mean? So it's about the engagement of family and then talking about what that means, because you have, I suppose, in that sense, a council of elders.
Yeah.
Like it's a completely different kind of energy. The family engages, then we engage, and I suppose also it's about personalities for eras and times.
The eras and times.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, even now, like my mother definitely at one point tried to do that kind of negotiation with another family for me. But what happened? Yeah. No, properly. Like before I was with my current girlfriend, and what happened was, the reality of it was, in terms of the engagement of me and that the person they put us in touch with, we didn't quite
connect,
quite click. But I took no offense to it, and I had great respect for the process. I understood it, like in my bones. I understood what was happening in that sense, and it really engaged me, and I understood, and I was like, okay, cool. And also that moment, I think for me, maybe also changed my perspective on terms of what commitment is, because like commitment, relationship, but commitment comes in every form, doesn't it? Commitment in one place manifests in all places. It's the difference between failure and success.
Okay.
Are you
philosophical?
No, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear what
because
you're saying.
the families came together to say, okay, let's have a conversation, and then you're like, okay, wow.
But then again, why wouldn't you, in those various relationships that you've had, then, like you say, commitment? Let's say, for example, contrast your career with the relationships. It's a series of choices.
Yes.
It's a series of decisions.
Yeah.
And you choose to stick it out. You choose to say, like now, we just said you guys are at your peak in your careers. And there were moments that you could have given up on acting and did whatever else.
Choose to stick around.
But now you stuck it out so much so that now we're saying you're the king on Netflix, and right now you're the golden boy of South African screens. And why couldn't you guys are whack.
I tried to keep it straight. I know why you went there. I was just like, yep, I'm gonna take it.
So why can't we have that commitment in the same principle that you just put out philosophically correct? Why can't it be similar?
You know what, wait, man. You guys are. Let's talk as guys, ne? And not be Dr. Phil.
Because
wait.
You didn't even.
No. Let's talk as guys. Tell the truth.
I'm gonna talk as a guy. Remember.
You know, guys are afraid of commitment because number one, there's so many beautiful women in this world.
Yeah.
And when they're like you.
Guys are afraid of commitment.
Yeah.
Especially
mongenekasi.
You understand what he... So that's the issue.
Wait,
no,
it's
don't go there and around.
Listen, it's a man's world. Okay. I'm gonna battle with you, bro. It's a man's world. James Brown got it right. In this era, we are dealing with a lot, like what it is to be a man. But let's talk about history and how it's been. It's a man's world. And as men, essentially, unless you learn different, you see women as property. As real estate. As a different kind of flower that you can pick.
As real estate,
I'm
or
sorry,
as...
guys. You like, let's be real. I'm like, yeah. That's how men
or as
think.
consumption
I say the minute this whole thing, Mthembu, commitment went down. Went down.
So it's for you, the issue is not commitment.
It's not commitment. It's parameters. It's learning, guys.
You're learning what, Tony?
Learning that we have to engage with women differently. Women are not property. Women are not flowers that
No,
you can pick and smell as you pick and
Tony,
choose. That's why men have problems with
So
commitment.
why are
The
you
more
not
choice
married?
you have,
Why are you not married?
Maybe
Yeah.
Tony is the problem.
Tony,
I'm the
why are you
problem.
not
Maybe I'm the
married?
problem.
Maybe because you
Tony's
can't
the
go
problem.
through
I
so
am the
many
problem.
women.
Maybe I am the problem.
Short term, short term, short term, short term,
Oh,
short term.
and then
There's only one common
Learning.
denominator.
It's
is
me.
the guy.
It's me.
sharp.
Do we struggle with commitment? SG does. Let's be honest, man. Not dilly-dally, go there, around.
Okay, when I was young, I didn't struggle with commitment. I struggled with not being committed to the cause of engaging with as many young women as I could, because that was like, as a younger man, like that's the as many notches on the bedpost meant something in terms of being the dude.
Yeah.
When I was younger, back in the day, like okay, this is when Man United were actually winning things. So any Man United fans, be offended. But the point is, this is when Man United were winning things.
Yeah.
And there was 3 of us living in the house, university days. I was called Man United. I was top of the league. And for me, it gave me like, yeah. But I didn't think about it in terms of, was I struggling to commit to a woman? It never occurred to me.
You just wanted to take the list and like get as many.
Conquest.
It never occurred to me.
Marantona likokasi wa tseba re jwale.
Yeah.
Conquest. Dintsaiza nearly conquest.
I
It was a
understand.
matter of yo lerato. And as soon as we talk about lerato, and then there's that thing, nakimshayile. Whereas even some guys would even lie and say
course.
bashayile mangma.
Are you saying you didn't get
Yeah.
affected by it, guys? That you didn't have the same...
No, I'm saying
I
in
wasn't
the hood,
affected by that.
Most relationships, the issue of mcholo, for us guys, it was about conquests. It was
but not for everyone,
Not for
offensive.
mostly.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just keep a lap.
You weren't affected. Why weren't you affected?
No, I mean, I didn't have the same goals as you. I want to get as many as I wanted. I know that. You know what I'm saying? And because I was brought up from a family structure, right? Where I knew that at some point I have to get married. And then once I get married, then we'll have children. Then, in fact, that's why I think I married
knew that
early.
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I knew that.
yeah,
I
but
know
no,
that.
I'm the good guy.
I'll tell you what. No, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Listen, those are principles that I was brought up.
Nobody's
under.
saying it, but nobody's
But
asking
I
you.
didn't. It's not. If
I
ever
also
you,
have those principles. I'm
offensive.
Christian, like
offensive.
Christian raised.
But then
core.
you are the Christian who are released, man.
No,
What you are getting there?
No,
Yabona,
I'm saying
lo
it
mntwana
wasn't
lo
my
wangu-worship team
list.
ngifuna ukumqedelela.
The list
Oh, yabona
was-
lona itina
Mntwana.
serious ngento ze-Christianity.
Mntwana,
Why are
the
you
list
why are you
was-
being like that? You're
the
taking
list
offense.
was in
You're
the
being
hood.
sensitive, Mo. You're taking offense. You're being sensitive.
No,
and I should be taking offense. Not,
no.
look, here's what I'm saying, guy.
Okay.
I desired to get married. I still had that wish to have that one woman.
What's
bro.
stopping you?
Yo, the connection, bro.
With who?
With her.
Did you know what the connection was, though? First of all, did you know what the
Wait,
connection was?
If ever you, wait.
Wait. Look. I've had people that I think the one that got away. I'll say. Yeah.
Are you sure you're not living a movie? Because you know how we are. Guys, we live the movie. We do the marriage in our heads. We do all of it. We do the marriage, do the kids. Then we're like, we get bored and we go off again. Like,
Yeah.
Look. At the end of the day, for me, marriage, Ndwana, it's about partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about having that person that I'm gonna walk this journey, and we're gonna have like-mindedness. And we don't need to complement each
that's
other
the
all
nice
the way.
version. But did you know what that was before you knew what that was?
But that's what I'm saying. How could I would now go down that road not knowing all of
Now
that?
you're starting to be Tafil again. Don't.
Oh, you know.
Don't do that. Tell the truth.
I'm just saying.
Why are you
Experience
struggling
is everything.
Lofentse, with commitment?
Mfana kisikileka commit na.
Okay, and then?
No, didn't do that.
Your eyebrows
What
are.
happened?
Your
What happened?
eyebrows doing
What
James Bond
happened?
this
What
side.
happened that affected
You're
you
going,
so
Okay.
much?
I realized one of the key things is that I realized that I'm not in a position to can take care of Mwanabatu.
Or it's a
Financially,
financial
economically.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, that was a
Finances.
Finances
So
will
clearly,
always,
so it's
like,
finances. You
finances
see now
will always be
engagement.
there. Finances will always be
guys,
there.
it's 2024.
Hi guys, even if it was
It's a capitalist
1924,
society.
it was capitalist in 1924.
Do you know?
That's why they went to
do you know-
war.
wait,
That's why
wait.
they did slavery.
Do
That's
you
why the
know,
whole
do you know
thing
what
happened.
someone
My
once
point
said
is-
to me? Do you know what someone once said to me?
Go on.
And I was like, whatever. Like, they said, love won't feed you.
That's cool. That's true. That's true. Ain't nobody got a problem with that. All I'm saying is, I think it's an excuse. I know I've made the same excuse. I've definitely made the same
Yeah.
excuse. It's an excuse.
The kettle
Listen.
calling the pot.
Yeah, bruh. Listen. Money will always come. If you're in a unit and a team and you are pushing forward and you have a direction and you know what you want to do, everything else comes. It just comes. That's the nature of, of everything. Like, the point is, it's an excuse. Just say it's an excuse. Admit it.
It's not an
no,
excuse.
it's not an excuse.
It's not an
No,
excuse.
it can't be an
It's
I'll tell you why. Like, because I'm looking it into my space. I'm like, okay, why am I not getting married?
you
Now.
you got married. right?
Yeah, but then I get a
you've been
divorce and
married.
then I move
Okay,
on
but-
and I've got a
but
partner now. So why am I not getting
Okay,
married
Kokopa
now?
Ubotsa, hey, wait.
Yeah.
I get you
Why?
got married.
Yeah.
Why did you get married?
I got married because one, like I told you, it was the concept that I was brought under. You know, you need to get married. So, like, there's a system,
Same
there's a time thing that you must tick the box, you know. And I think this person is the one that I must be with forever.
I am the only
ever.
rebel in the
And,
room.
you know, and sometimes
how
I
did
think,
that turn out?
I mean, not necessarily the best way, because I think I needed to find myself first.
So why is it wrong when I say
No, he's
You are
talking
saying
about an excuse,
use
yeah,
the
finance.
Yes, finance.
No,
There's a difference.
but wait. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
That's it. Dr. Phil. Dr.
Here's the
Phil.
thing. No, wait. The only thing is the thing.
But you're asking
Tell
me
the
to
truth,
finance.
Baba.
Yeah, I had to find myself.
So the reason why I agreed with you was because now I'm like, right now, I need to be financially stable. I've already got my house, my stuff, blah, 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 blah. But now if I bring in somebody else, I need to provide for them as well. Nah, I can't just jump and you know. But the thing is, in the process, while you're organizing yourself, you also need to be committed to that partnership so that you move forward.
You need to be emotionally
But now,
stable.
you need to be emotionally
stable.
stable.
There you go, my friend.
Bring that
That's what we are
Nigeria.
talking about. Eh?
That's it.
Just so we are clear.
Yeah.
See your life now. Mm-hmm. See your life.
Come on.
You need to be.
Come on. Bring it. Bring it.
That
Genie
was-
Osenyemi.
Aye, but it's true. You know, fella, water this.
I'm lost. You guys are losing me.
No,
I'm
bruh.
lost. I'm lost.
No.
Okay.
Don't be lost.
Unpack,
All I'm
unpack.
saying is, the money is an excuse. The other part is an excuse. If essentially you need to be emotionally stable as a man to be able to engage in any relationship. I don't think we struggle with commitment. I think what we struggle with is just understanding what commitment takes.
And there's too much lasting, guys.
Aye, we are beasts. Beasts of the field.
So those are things that are making guys not be able to commit.
It's like being chained to a
I was
beast.
telling Lerato that earlier on.
And is it a normal thing?
I was telling
It's
Lerato that
natural.
It's not abnormal.
Tina, we don't necessarily cheat because we are not in love with the other girl or the other person. It's lust. You just want to hit that.
Yeah, I don't. It's not even just that, guys. You know, the grass is always greener on the other side of the road. That's just nature. Human beings. It's like, I get you on the lust part. Be honest with you. Once puberty hit and I knew what my penis was and sex was, it was like being chained to a lunatic that I had no control of, and there were only moments of clarity. It just wanted, and I couldn't argue with it. I couldn't fight it. I couldn't tell it off. It didn't listen to me.
Your penis.
It did what the fuck it wanted.
Lerato said
You broke it.
it's a
Chini.
wrong neck.
My man.
It did what the fuck it wanted, and then one day I was like, "You must do what the fuck I want."
When was that?
That's the emotional intelligence
That's the
coming
emotional
through.
intelligence.
Yeah. But I can really emotional intelligence and
It's experience. Everything is experience.
and it's emotional intelligence or ka se kgone ho thabisa ngwana batho in 2024. It's not new.
Yeah, because I feel like, then it's either Mutwao, then what if, because I mean, back in the days, man,
But
you
it's-
didn't need, Mamel, back in the days, you didn't need like majabajaba. You didn't need to have you'd start a room in a 2-room bese. My parents, they stayed git in a 2-room setup or garage setup, and then they started building from there. They committed to each other. But the prospects and projections were like there. One day we're gonna make it, and this today. Gents are struggling with that setup.
What did your first love teach you?
Setup.
No, I am. I'm not struggling anymore. I'm not struggling anymore. Like I say, because for each person, it's their own time. You can't paint it with one brush. It's impossible. So where you were at one stage, he's at a different stage, I'm at another stage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't paint it with one brush. But I suppose my question to you, gentlemen, is this. It's not really the struggle with commitment. It's the choice to understand yourself as a man and where your place is in the world. Like you said, he know, because we've lived together. We've done a lot together. And he made a point about me. Like, when I'm creative, everything else drops off the fucking radar, bro.
Yeah. Even his girls, I remember this. Like,
many of my relationships ended because I'd be like...
there were so many beautiful women that he'd hook up with. I'm like, told him, boy, go with this one, fam.
Yeah.
Quality at its best.
He was like the pastor.
Like, and then this guy, because he was so committed to work.
He was begging me.
And making it so much. And all he thinks about is writing. But I'm like, then you forget to live. So those are some of the things that hinder us.
It's
like wanting success.
You just killed it there.
much.
You forget to live.
You know? Yeah.
Because you are like,
I want to make it so bad. I want to be the best.
Motlatsi says I'm a fake Christian, but
wow.
You know what my Bible says? It says a man must establish himself first before starting a family. That's the book of Proverbs.
So
right?
how you disagree
I'm
with me before I'm
bars
talking about
right
understanding
now.
yourself and you're like, wait a minute, I'm kind of confused.
But here's what I'm saying. That in
I got you.
2024, that in the 21st century, gents, also because your passion right now, Tony, right? Your passion, does it not feed you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It fires me, it inspires me.
And that's where you are building your empire, right? Along with your passion. So, but it's also what I'm saying, but maybe in different wording.
way.
But
Yeah.
the floor
Because
is...
here's the thing, I can't give myself to this lady if I'm divided, if you get what I mean. Because there's that emotional attention that I need to give her. But now I'm also trying to build this thing, possibly even for her.
Now I'm confused. Now I thought I had it all worked out. You've just confused the shit out of me.
Because
I was there. Now I'm like,
Oh my God.
I'm confused now.
You
You just fucked my head up. I'm leaving. Guys, this is bullshit. I had a plan. I had a plan and you fucked it up.
What did he do?
Sorry. I had a plan and you fucked it up. I was like, oh shit. I know where I'm going. No, I don't.
I understand what you're saying now. What's stopping you from, or till when are you going to get to a point where you're ring kapanda, so that I can be enough to commit?
It's not even about till when.
Well, tell me.
It's about that one person, for me. The person that I can connect with and even not have to worry about.
Can I ask a personal question?
It sounds like I'm contradicting myself.
Yeah,
I know.
I want to ask a personal question.
If it sounds like
How
it.
many girlfriends have you had in your life?
Fine, do you expect me to count?
Yeah,
right
okay, you
now?
can give me like just a round figure.
Look, let's keep it simple. I've had a few long-term relationships.
How many, man?
A few long-term
Okay, let's say
relationships.
50.
A few long-term relationships. Long-term. Maybe not more than five.
Long-term.
About five long-term
relationships. Ne?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I was asking is, Guti, so you've had all this, so do you then realize later, after the longness, Guti, no, I'm not committing to this one? Or, you understand what I'm saying? Like, how does it work?
Contrary, I actually in most of the long-term relationships, I did commit. In most of them, I've been engaged.
I've got friends who are journalists.
and not necessarily even longer than 12 months, where I thought, okay, I can settle down with this person, but then thereafter, circumstances just don't allow things to happen.
What do you mean circumstances don't allow things to happen?
Circumstances.
What
man.
circumstances?
Life.
No, what? No.
Maybe,
Come on.
maybe he meets another person.
Okay, so come on.
No,
Circumstances.
not even.
What are circumstances,
Not
guys?
even.
Circumstances are rain. Circumstances, the guy in the car going, Circumstances are tripping up.
So,
circumstances are not getting paid.
let me make maybe an example with the last relationship where I committed to.
Okay.
I then realized, Uguti, at that point financially, I was just nowhere, right? And the lady was working. She was willing to be supportive, but she was drowning. She was drowning, and I couldn't be a burden to her because she had to kind of cover me.
Drowning because she was covering you.
Not necessarily
But
for
like-
me,
yeah,
just
but like
in general.
yeah.
You understand? And there was the black tax effect,
Yes, I think
family
I'm hearing you, boy.
Can I be a motherfucker?
and then now I
Wait,
wasn't contributing much financially towards her, and that messed with her emotional well-being and therefore her overall well-being, even though I was giving as much as I could emotionally and otherwise, but it still wasn't sufficient to kind of cover that void that I can't even pinpoint.
So we can then safely say, Nabo sister, they give us a lot of pressure. So Mama's family pressure, and then we're afraid of committing because then it's like, this one, she's doing this, she's doing that, and maybe she earns like 50,000 and I'm making 15, and like, how am I gonna keep up? I don't know.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
So my question to you is then, because you'd constructed this reality and it's your perception about what you just discussed, did you slowly withdraw yourself? Subconsciously and inactively?
No. The conflict due to the circumstances increased. And I could realize, because I had to then introspect and assess what's the cause of the conflict. And I could understand the cause of the conflict was not necessarily me and her, but it was the dynamics around the lifestyle and the way of living.
That's it.
Western
That's
society.
it.
Yes.
Pressure.
African
That's
culture.
pressure.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's pressure.
there's always pressure. Pressure's everywhere, guys. I disagree with both of you. So, Nigerian by descent, by origin, right? Raised in the UK. So the only reason I could speak my language at home is because my mother spoke at home. Home was Nigeria. The rest of the world was the UK.
Yeah.
So my point is, in the UK, you are encouraged to behave, like I said, I told you about the whole Man United phase, like in relationships, blah, blah, blah. But in Nigeria, there's a different concept of how that works. But you come across the border and you're influenced. So I'm like, for me, it's like, how do you marry the two spaces? I hear what you're saying, but part of me is like, bruh, and please don't take this the wrong way. Part of me is like, because now I'm a little older and I've remembered things I've said and done in relationships. Because what you define here is what happens in reality. I understand that you're saying she was under pressure with you and you're feeling like, but this is what I know. If a woman loves you guys, she will stand there and pull the trigger with you.
True story.
Right?
True story.
Cool. So, if you are committed, this is my one, I'm going to hell, I will murder everybody for this woman. You will succeed.
True.
Okay then.
But
That's what I need to hear from you.
At whose detriment?
All I need to hear from you.
At whose detriment?
There's no detriment. You
No,
will
I
find
get
your
that
way.
every time
You will find your
What do you
way.
mean there's no
detriment?
There's no detriment because I think you're one. When you're committed.
Also, we Pipani and Clyde.
Yeah, because you wrote the boat
cool.
together.
No, it's fine. I hear you.
You will find your
Look,
way.
man, I suppose, as you say, it's different perspectives, yeah? And my perspective is that for me, I need to contribute value into this person's life. And really, if I'm not contributing value...
You know what? And then sometimes, and I'm just commenting under general. Also, some people, they date people that are out of their league. Like,
yeah.
then they say, no, I'm afraid to commit. No, muntu lona uhamba nge-Porsche. You understand?
110.
My nigga, let's be honest. Yeah.
110.
And then we desire things that we can't afford. Then then you give her problems. But it's just because you want to tap and have this badge, that list you're talking about, which I have on the list.
I remember that
Do you understand?
experience.
Do you understand?
I hear you.
So that last thing is the problem. I think that, I don't know. I mean, guys from South Africa are hectic. I think I actually want to find out from you, Tony. Ne? Just, I don't know, your perspective. Now that you said Nigerian, what. Do you think, because like South African women are slaves.
I'm just saying, I didn't say any South African women listen to this right now.
Nobody.
I am not part of this
They're not
conversation.
listening.
I just want to be clear about that shit.
My chance.
Send money now.
Send
money. Send money. Send money.
Is it because maybe you guys treat them better, or send money?
Send money.
What is it that?
But the Nigerian mentality. Well, I'll talk about my Nigerian mentality because I understand that part of me. If she's your woman, guys, no matter what kind of mess you leave in the street, you must not embarrass her. You must take care of her. you must let she is, whatever you are doing, she is the number one. So like you can bounce from Pretoria to Hyde Park, but don't embarrass her. Don't disrespect her. I think that's the only difference.
Okay.
I'm not saying that suddenly the Nigerian man is better than any other man, but I'm just saying like.
But
Are you saying that South African men are embarrassing them?
Yeah, ganjani.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Tony.
I said nothing. I was talking about Nigerian men because I'm Nigerian. So watch yourself now, because that's what I'm talking.
Okay,
I did not comment on your essay guys. I did not say
embarrassing.
anything about your essay guys.
You. He's like, which one now was embarrassing?
No, what are you saying, Tony?
I said what I'm saying. It wasn't in French. I said what I'm saying.
You think, Anfana?
I said
No, but what he's saying is so potent and deep, because like the proof is in the pudding. They don't embarrass. He doesn't say they don't do 1, 2, 3.
Men are men. I would not pretend.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm righteous.
They go out of their way to make sure that they preserve her mental state.
And she better have the cash when she needs it.
And money does play a role.
Like, look after.
So what's wrong when I said I?
Do you understand?
Money is not there.
I'm not. No, you are using it as an excuse.
Oh,
no,
it's
you are using it as an excuse. I'm saying make
no,
sure. Like, okay, this is my thing, guys. The challenge is the challenge.
I said I'm making
No.
sure.
If your rent is, let's put it like this: if your rent is 8.5, and your landlord is like, it's cool. You've been there 3 years. I'd like, okay, cool. It's still 8.5. 5 years, it's still 8.5. If you are not on your own, thinking, okay, listen, if I do not challenge myself to be able to pay more on a monthly basis to be outside when I'm buying something. So like it's 8.5, I'm not gonna pay 10. I'm gonna put credit in the bank. If I don't think like that already, then how am I gonna elevate anyway? That's the difference between you and me's argument.
You're losing.
When Tony, why are you not
You lost
married
me
again?
with 8.5.
Oh, Tony, why are you not committed?
I am committed.
To who?
To my lady, brother.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
You pay rent for
How
her?
long?
I don't pay rent for her.
How long?
Oh,
Tony?
I know, you listen to what I'm saying, guys.
yeah,
listen
I
to what I'm
missed-
saying.
I missed
If you sit in comfortable, then all it is comfortable. And you cannot, when it comes to being challenged, raise yourself to the challenge. That is what I'm saying. So I'm saying, don't sit in comfortable. If it is comfortable, find a way to challenge yourself and make sure each step is the next step. That's all I'm saying. That's the difference in my mentality and yours.
In reference to committing to a relationship,
Tony, but you're assuming that I'm not challenging myself.
No, I'm not assuming anything. I'm saying you use the excuse. You asked what was the difference between, and he gave you a fist bump. I'm like, fuck your fist bump. He gave you a motherfucking fist bump.
I'll tell you what was the fist bump about. You see, cultural difference. Yeah.
Because you said,
no,
no, wait a minute. I was like, he's like, then why did you say it was an excuse? I didn't say it was an excuse. I said, what I'm saying to you is, If you think money is always the problem, then it is an excuse.
It's not always money.
But it's money.
I mentioned
No,
even the
guys, it's
emotional,
money. And even emotional,
I mentioned
yeah.
the support. But
Yeah.
at the core, remember, Tony, upume Nigeria, waya London because of Tiriri Ndate.
Fair.
It's Tiriri. We live in a capitalist society. We've been transformed. We cannot run away from
All I'm
it.
saying is sometimes you can use an excuse, and other times you can go for the jugular and win.
What is the jugular? Tony, you're starting with this deep
You are telling me I'm Dr. Phil now.
Yeah,
Guys,
because-
you are pretending to miss the point.
yeah,
You are
yeah,
pretending,
yeah.
both of you are pretending to miss the point. That's what I'm saying.
But Faith, you know, I do think on a personal, honestly speaking, we suffer from committing because money. We feel or think we can't provide enough for our sister too. We suffer from it because also we put ourselves under pressure, looking at other people who are committed. But I think we also doubt ourselves and our love and our emotional intelligence. We actually live for something else, unlike our parents who taught us that in life, when you have your person, you can achieve and attain.
Anything.
And you need that family unit. At the end of the day,
Support structure.
there's a concept that we've missed as men in Africa, and maybe not even in South Africans specifically, because like we're chasing too much success. We can't commit because now there's a concept of polygamy that we still want to be young forever, and before we know it, time is gone. And our sisters, they are very clever.
Time always
Our
goes. sisters
sisters are so wise, and they know good. Listen, let's do it now, my nigga. Whatever that you're looking for out there, you'll find it here still. I want to believe. You know,
not really.
Not really. Tell me, come on now.
Not really.
Tell me. I mean, quick.
Bona jo. How many sisters on that? Nakawubonisa sister no, who are in their 40s, who are spinsters and still hoping for that one, and will skip you the good. And I'm talking from experience again.
And
You
what?
give all the love, and the lady will jump to the next better player because abatla something.
Which is what, Trevor?
Kwe, bantwana,
Money.
comfort
So money is a
zone.
big factor. We agree.
Part and parcel. Okay.
Love
So
is not enough.
Yeah,
I
so
wrote a song like that.
Kirko with the ladies, it's not necessarily, I don't think we're na fela banaling issue, because society two-way
But men, no. I think you are being unfair to the ladies. I think majority of the ladies, they really want commitment, and it's in their
Flopokeron.
No. It's in their nature to want that.
Flopokeron.
thing, the flopkeron.
I'm
That's
not
why
going
I
to
put
about
two.
anybody's nature.
That's
And
why I will-
that's why I take it back to Tabaya polygamy. But my sister, there's more sisters out there, ne? And the gents are few, right?
Vana Kuparska.
Okay.
Kuparska.
Okay, fine, guys.
Vana,
I
that's
get you.
a story. Vana Kukupa Umut.
Yeah.
Guys, this is for me. Listening to both of you and listening to myself talk a lot of smack. At the end of the day, the life you live and who you commit to and what you choose to do is essentially down to you. There's always going to be pressure. There is always going to be advertisements. There is always going to be public opinion. There is always going to be familial history. There's always going to be cultural bias. But essentially, it is about us going, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm committed to. I get you. We're all affected by different aspects of that. For me, it's definitely the split culture between being born in London and raised there, but also being utterly Nigerian and knowing the way my mother thinks and part of how that's imprinted on me. Because she says the same thing to me. I'm like, I've said the same things you're saying. Like, I need to make more money to raise a family. She's like, Kilo de, the money will come. Just find a wife. Just settle down. Just commit to something.
It's an
And I can
elder
see her pulling her hair out because for her, she has a level of experience in history, and she looks at me and she sees me and she's seen many other men like me, her uncle, her father, her father, sorry, I just fucked the whole thing up, but her uncle, her father, and women, for me anyway, live on a network of information experience, whereas sometimes men live on the idea and the adventure of it. They deal in real time, whereas we deal in sometimes fantasy time. So I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, we must stop being boys and live as men.
The more we talk, I realize that I think our generation is suffering from commitment in general. You know, and there's something that you just said now, with the information overload.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me, can you,
So on two parts, guys. Commitment is a choice. I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, commitment is a choice. But the other part of it is there is so much noise. There is so much white noise about what it means to be committed, what commitment means, whether it's marriage or just being committed in a long-term relationship, whether commitment is financial, whether commitment is spiritual, whether commitment is emotional.
Absolutely.
Like, you also have to decide what's in the space, because, guys, in all of history, I don't think there's more build-up of, I suppose, information than now. Because look at social media. People are snapping things at like 100 minutes a second, and it's all there. You're like, you get overwritten.
So commitment
because Ntwana, you choose, let's say you're in a relationship, right? She wakes up, she listens to Anthony's podcast and Rato's podcast and watches a certain TV show. I choose to watch this show, that show, that show. I get exposed to different information, different worlds, because you know there's worlds within the world.
Yes.
Bubbles.
Yeah, so now she gets exposed to different worlds. So whatever that connected us initially, the more we get different sets of information, the more we deviate from one another.
Fair.
You know,
Agreed.
information, partly from what I'm understanding you say.
Yeah, but as I said, one is choice, one is the white noise. And I still think that we have to, for all the noise again, because there's more of it coming, guys, we also have to be a lot stronger about what we deem and what. Yeah.
You know what I think? I think there's an agenda, né? And I mean, I'm just thinking.
There's always an agenda.
Yeah, there's an agenda to, one, for black people and black families to not exist. And so, because there's people who control the world with the information that's been fed to us, you know, and so they know, they've looked at it from an eagle's point of view, and then they're like, oh, this is how, it's that program, how are we going to control the black mind like they did to South Africa? How we think now is organized.
Careful, they might just say you're speaking conspiracy theories.
No,
but it's not even conspiracy theory. History repeats itself. Carry on, brother.
Information that I'm being fed. I'm the product of this information overflow generation. Ne? And when I analyze it, we are afraid of commitment. And before that was not the case. And the reason why I'm bringing Tabo polygamy and all those other things, those other things were brought by black leaders, like our cultural ways of doing things that now have been removed because they understood what a man is. And my man,
okay, go.
In Nigeria, do you have polygamy?
No, but yes, there is polygamy.
Okay.
There is a social underpinning to the structure of society that is also part of that, which is what he's talking about. Because
social pinning from which perspective?
Because there is a difference between romantic marriage and engagement to also strategic marriage
and those are things you see in the movies, that romantic thing that the ladies now want.
It becomes
so
very,
it's been fed to us. It's not something that
very.
And it's the
movie.
information that's killing us.
Because don't forget, society is based on commitment, connection. So let's say there's we talk about the matriarchal culture where the women run the household and the women may be married to one man, 4 women, but it's not just about the romantic concept of it. It's also about the fiscal, cultural, generational, structural concept.
That's
so
it.
these are the other things. Don't get me wrong. One wife is enough, guy. Like to have 4 would be
That'd be
a lot. But my point is,
tick.
we've disregarded those aspects of what those setups mean in terms of polygamy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I overstand what you're saying.
Okay.
And I think that's the misconception that I think you guys have totally misunderstood me as a premise. All right. I'm not afraid of commitment. I told you when I started, I said, I want to commit.
Okay.
In this world of information overload, I have thought about what would work for me. And yes, if you want to say, look at these guys lean back. If you want to say, I've got a list, and maybe even if in your opinion it's unrealistic, true story. It's my view of how the world is and how me knowing myself, consider how I would thrive in a committed relationship. Because if I do it any other way, then I will find myself being married or being committed, but still looking at every other skirt that passes by.
Fair, but commitment doesn't mean marriage.
Hence I corrected myself. And I'm trying to say to me, what I know, me knowing who I am, I think I know myself enough to know what can gel with me and my identity.
You're looking for a
and where I'm going.
soulmate.
It's fine. Call it a soulmate.
In short, we are looking for
Call it what you want to call it. And
I think you're also suffering from that information overload. Because I am. Because now when you're creating this system.
Gentlemen,
based on what I know.
you are
of
judging
myself.
each other. This is the other thing. You are judging each
No,
other.
no,
It is
yeah.
okay for you to think that way. It's okay for you to think that way. Allow yourself the space.
True.
Not concluded. Zen.
Nitimina, you're supposed to have role models, right? So where are the role models
Oh, such a good.
that you can have these conversations with to help guide you or make that decision, right? Because it sounds like you are making it and there's no one maybe that
Rites of
that
passage.
you look up to.
Where's the
that
rites of
can
passage
help
gone?
you know, who has the experience, which has the, when you want to say from this is what you must look for, or this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe let's try to add that.
Yeah,
The
please.
role models.
As I'm writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I try from Motlatsi for an expression here, the family factor. Now, I'm not working the show because in the show. So the family factor, right? So women can go to their aunties, their mothers, but now with this information overload, right? Who do we go to? Remember, now last week we spoke about.
But that's the erosion of the family structure. That's what he was talking. That's what's got, because the guys, where's the rites of passage is gone, guy.
Yeah.
For African men anyway.
I'm a Xhosa, sorry. In the Xhosa culture, if you haven't gone in diving, or
You're not a man.
you don't sit with them, you don't eat.
See?
Yeah. So for me, it's like we really are a lost generation, because that's why I've been talking about the ego. People who are controlling how we're going to move or behave
Family
moving
structure.
forward, and they killed our family structure. And they started with our minds. That's why the information overload. So we have disregarded and belittled our cultures,
Fathers away from home.
because that's when the structure worked, and understanding what commitment is, right? And that's why our families, and we used to pride ourselves with, like, ukuthi umama azi ukuthi ubaba uhlangahlangene ayibambe athi. And so, yeah, and bese, and umama bene pride ngendlu yakhe, ngefamily yakhe. Ne, khona manje abashela banobathi angeke mina ngeke yeah mamela, because lebona bayincele lapho kubo mama babo, ne. And then thina bese ama gents on the other side bese ngoba they know ukuthi no mosadi tshwantse a tshware ka bogaleng, then bese ba hlukumeza yonke into. Then they lose that respect that Tony is talking about. No man, in Nigerian guys, they respect that space. You understand? So gunala in our minds as guys, we're just like sheeps,
Yeah.
zuling around Joburg, and it's empty.
Yeah.
You know, and all the women are gone to Nigeria.
The rite of passage.
You know.
guys.
Okay, I must stop with
No,
this.
it's fine. It's fine. But you're not wrong, bro. The rite of
But you
passage.
understand the concept.
The
No?
rite of passage, guys, what it is to be guided by an elder male who has seen and has experienced, it's been eroded from our cultures across the board. Let's not even play about it. The absent father is a pop culture motif.
Yeah. And who do we blame? Motlatsi says we are a lost generation, right? My question is, when a child is lost in the shopping complex, who's responsible for losing the child?
It's
Is
tough.
it the child who's responsible for losing himself?
Yo, that's a whole
That's
other.
a very-
ooh,
that's-
Yeah, but I
wow.
don't want to go deep
Yeah.
into that one. And I'm trying to say, Uguti, in this lostness, let's look back, right? You say absent fathers, you say the brainwashing, and really the whole concept even of blessers. Did it start from our age group?
It's always been around.
It's always been around.
It's always been around.
We're a generation that also ends
and what
like,
has it built up to?
It's replaced.
But what has, and it hasn't exacerbated?
It's
has-
exacerbated, but replaced
Yeah,
mentorship.
thank
It's
you.
replaced respect for yourself as a man and respect for women.
But,
and
do you,
understanding
but
of
can we
self-respect.
agree that it also changes the dynamics of how we view commitment, both
Yes.
men and women?
Fair.
In
Fair.
its exacerbation?
I don't like it, but it's a fair
Because
point.
money now speaks louder in terms of acquisition.
I don't like it.
The money, it's not
Trust-
money.
trust Lofentse to bring that.
Rites of passage,
Yeah.
you know, role models. I think that's where we should.
Go to the role models.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't go too long. I want to be snappy. Boom, boom, boom.
No, but honestly, the point is valid. But the problem is, like, I agree with you. It's the rites of passage, is the role model. Because no matter what happens, guys, if we have our elder there as a male to say, okay, there's going to be money, there's going to be all this shit, but the reality is you must make a choice on a moral basis
And stick to it.
and a loving basis and stick to it.
The elders are there, Tony. Let me be honest to you.
Where?
You know,
Where are the elders?
no, the
brother?
elders are there, my boy. It's just that this generation is so disrespectful, and this is us.
So they're maybe they're not so
No,
vocal.
no,
Not
are
the elders.
Mamela Offense. Abantu abadala, they are tired of us because we failed to listen. And they've been telling us, Lalela, this is how we do things. They said, we were like, no, let's convince them. We are the forceful one, and we need to go back to Abantu abadala. That's my opinion.
You think so, man?
I really think so.
Okay.
And because if we learn these things, zase Europe, zase America, zase gupi, salahleka boy, we'll end up being another America.
I don't
But we have our elders chilling there,
I don't disagree.
waiting for us.
But would you give up on your son?
Eh?
I don't disagree, but you would never give up on your son, would you?
I'll never do that.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
my answer. That's my answer.
Okay. That's fine. But we are also that X generation.
Why do they name generations, guys? Pop culture. This is what I'm saying to you. Pop culture. They name it for pop culture. They name it to put a message in your head that this is the generation that did this.
This is how you're supposed to
This is how
think.
you're supposed to be.
This is how
It's
supposed to
mythology.
behave.
The best story wins.
No, Tony, I'll tell you about a simple story. Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi,
Wax on, wax off.
basics.
Yes, fair.
That young boy won that tournament because he was obedient to his master
And he did the basics.
And he kept the base.
all the way. And the master just wants you to listen. If you don't listen, then they walk away. They walk away, Tony. So we can't be like on some, where was the parent when the child
I
is getting missing
understand.
and in the mall? The child was busy. The parent said, stay here.
My brother.
And so we are so quick to go, we are equal. We are not equal. Those people, Mamela, Tony, those people have more time on earth than we do. All we need to do is spend time with them so they can give us their information, and then we can carry on and give that information to the next person.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. You are absolutely right.
But all I'm saying is in contrast to that, because the point is there are always many sides to the same story. And I'm going to just say this to you, my brother. If you give up, then it is lost. When we come into this world, we are meeting people who are already here.
I'll ask one. Okay, check me out, my friend. I'll ask you one question. You've had so many relationships in your life. Why are you struggling with commitment?
I'm no longer struggling with commitment.
You are committed?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to tell you,
My
brother.
nigga. Why? And how what's the
Learning.
okay?
Learning is all experience. And if you have the people to tell you and talk to you, then you maybe get a 10-year jump. And if you don't, you must figure it out for yourself. But the point is, it must be figured out. We are experiential creatures. We make mistakes. That is the point. That's why when you are young, you're a lunatic. When you're older, you are more calm. Because you have seen shit. It's like the horror movies. You say, don't go down that room. But you know the person must go down that room for their own experience because they must go down that room. And if they live, amazing. If they die, bad luck.
And let's flip it to your side.
Yeah.
You've been in commitment. How has that fed up and how has it not?
I think it's important to find oneself, before you commit, because then you're going to take some other ladies' dreams, aspiration, families, what, and then just lead them astray without even knowing them. So you're leading everybody astray. That's not cool.
Nice.
Right? So it's important. We need to reconstruct our way of communication. For example, you see in the Christian community, they don't talk. So that's why even abantwana abakhula khona bahlangahlangene, because then it's just this religious but they're not open and have the conversation with, no, come through and then this is how we do it. But then if you go all the way ngati, hey, Jesus said this, God is doing this, you're leading the people astray, really. That's my opinion. And so that's why we need time to learn about who we are. What are we doing here? And then families are this. That's why we must have it, because we are increasing where we are going as a nation. Your role is so that we can accumulate that land and that one and then connect it, and then our children are going to... We need to start having that conversations moving forward. You understand? And so, but that's why the Miyagi story, once you know yourself and you center yourself, then you can drive what needs to happen. But are creating a relationship, and it's saying about much. Let's create a relationship nabantabadala. I think and I'm sure Tony speaks to his mom all the time, but his mom has always been right. My mom is always right. We can't run away from that. So let's be respectful, and absorb that information. Right. Once we learn, then only then we'll understand what is commitment. Because commitment is not marriage. Commitment could be companionship for, you know what I mean? It could be honor, and for whatever reason that it is. So we need to get to sivule. I think we don't have a lot of time, but
you are right.
We'll unpack it. What is your setup?
But my conclusion, I come back to what I've said. I know myself now, and I know what I want in a relationship, and I've come to know what I don't want. You call it a soulmate, it's fine. I'm cool with whatever you want to classify it, but I know what I want, and I think I'm cool to say when it comes to me and when I connect with it, I will move with it. It's not a matter of I've got a fear, but I'm not going to settle for the sake of social pressure to commit. I do want to commit. I'm looking for someone to commit with. I'm going to find someone to commit with. It's not even just about the money. That's part and parcel. But okay. Yeah, I'm getting there.
I think you will find someone amazing.
Of course.
I mean, the boy looks good.
I
know. The boy looks good.
I know.
and I'm sure both people, yeah, like I don't know, I could be wrong, but on a certain picture, and I think you but Singer, we shouldn't follow those ones on that Instagram setup.
Nah.
Because about quality.
It's not about that.
It's a
No,
choice.
I
no
got it.
substance.
Say rap.
No
Ooh,
substance.
say rap. You know what, Buffett?
Funny substance.
I mean,
Choice.
we can't talk about this thing forever, but we'll probably, if Masanga know is on the bed. I've learned a lot. I think, Tony, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me. It's been a
Man, fancy.
Done.
It's gonna be nice. I think talking about issues in various, you know.
Yeah,
And we are learning about each other. There's no judgment. We can question each other. But I don't know what you guys think, you know. And you can comment below, subscribe, obviously, like, and tell us why are we struggling with commitment. You know, like I think you are right. Brainwash. Money, What do you think? Motlatsi Mafatshe, I got Tone, Osenyemi.
Thank you for having me, brother.
I got 30 Netflix, brother. Don't want to show them your six pack. It's grown. The man is good. He's in a committed relationship.
Hey, Nazo. Ladies.
No, it's not working anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Shame, Nick.
Thank you for coming through,
Thank
my
you,
nigga.
brother.
I love you. I appreciate you. May God bless
Always.
you with
Amen.
everything that you do. More movies,
Tony?
My guy.
more
love.
everything, more
One
money.
love.
Fancy,
One love.
you want to wrap it up a little bit?
Yeah, but fair too. It's Dice the podcast. Sikhuluma indaba
My
zamajika.
guy. No, again.
That guy.
It's not Dice the
You saw it.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I was like, no.
yeah.
When I know.
I am
No,
well,
Mama.
man. Don't do that.
Yo.
3, 2,
Yo.
1.
Yo, good people, it's Dice the podcast. Look, man, this is the platform for the cheaters. So we've been talking about the challenges of commitment. You write, comment, subscribe, ask us anything, you know, whatever you want us to talk further on this topic. Yo, man, drop it there. We'll cover it soon. We got Tony, we got Mo. Thank you, Uprabongane, no Sis Nontantra,
Oh, man, the team.
no Lerato,
Amen.
no
Yeah.
Ins, no PJ,
PJZ.
no Lisiho. We thank you for the team, man. The team
you
was
for the team.
good. Tony,
Well done.
Motlatsi, Dice the podcast, Bafetu, Siyabong.
Yeah, you had to throw the dice. You didn't throw the dice. You were like, you were here.
Just do it
And
here.
we were like, we were both looking at you
But I
guys. No, we
threw
were
the
both,
dice.
no, we're not. We were both looking at you
I threw
guys.
the
We were like,
dice.
no.
Your brains were in the gutter. Your brains were in the gutter. You can roll it back.
Listen.
And you must look at the dance. Then you're like,
You're fighting. You're like, no, man, I was still no, but we were like, we watching.
and at that time he's got a muffin.
Yeah, and then his shoulders going like pump. We're like, no, guy. No, this is one of those OnlyFans videos right now. You can make money. I get 10%.
Well,
Listen,
get guys
let's do the
podcast for free.
OnlyFans. We can do OnlyFans, guys.
So bafethu sisonke, and next time masi fike lana sabe sikhuluma ngento esimple ukuthi do you guys
Forgive him. He's an artist. And artists are verbose and extreme and expressive.
do gents suffer from vele do
Okay, cool.